Hi there, Facebook community. Happy Monday. How is everybody doing today? Hope you're doing well. This is Coach Barbara Perkins, and this is Real Talk with Love. Coming to you, I am in Atlanta, Georgia, and we have been meeting like this. This is week 19. So come right in. We start at 7, so I try to come on just a little bit early so we can listen to a little bit of Brannis McKenzie in the background. Her song, Sisters at the Well, was written for us in 2003 because we've been gathering at this well for quite a while in different ways. Come right on in. Thank you for joining. And as you come in, I'll ask you to share. Share it with some other folks so they can come in and spend this 30 minutes with us. Every Monday, we come right here at this metaphoric well, and we pick a topic and we spend some time really talking about things that will inspire us and move us forward, and really spend time talking about good news because, bad news is just all around us. So it's really nice when we can spend a little time talking about something positive, how to move ourselves forward and how to make life better for ourselves. So come right on in, my friends. Thank you for stopping by. I see Linda is there. And Linda, share it with the group. Sisters at the Well, morning inspiration, if you will. Share it with a bunch of folks if you can. We have a really good topic for today. Our topic is affirming your life's purpose. Hey, Cody. Affirming life's purpose. We all have a purpose. Even if we haven't spoken it out loud, we should have a purpose. Because a purpose is going to move you forward. So we're going to get into that a little deep tonight. And then we're going to talk about how to affirm it. Keep it at the center of everything we do. So come right on in. Listen to Brannis. Do share. And I want to just acknowledge, every time we start, and I'll start to turn the music down a little bit. But when we start on Monday evenings, we always like to start by acknowledging the week and what is going on in the week and what has happened over the weekend. It's been so heavy in these last few weeks. We've been here for 19 weeks. And a lot of it has been just heaviness. So tonight I decided, let's talk about what's good in the news, right? What are some of the good things happening? Even though we're in the midst of this pandemic, hi Chanel, even though we're in the midst of the pandemic and the economic crisis and the housing crisis and stress all around us, there are some folks doing good stuff. Well, I want to start by saying kudos to the governor of New York, who really demonstrated his leadership throughout this pandemic. From the very beginning, I should say the governor of New York, as well as the governor of California, two who certainly showed us some really compassionate leadership and effective leadership. Hey, Charlene, my friend. So I want to just say New York has had a rough time when we started. March and April for New Yorkers was so scary. And now we look at the news today and we see that the numbers have gone down. They're doing so much better. Things are really headed in the right direction, and it's been that way for the last 30 to 45 days. And so we have to say kudos, to the governor and to New Yorkers who really took this thing seriously and who stayed in the homes, who stayed sheltered in, who wore the mask, who did all the right things. So let's say kudos to them, right? Anyone else, if you have some good news, put it in the thread because I want to share. Let's spend like 3 or 4 minutes just talking about some of the good things that are happening. There's a young man here. I saw it on the news. I think it was on the Sunday morning talk shows, MSNBC. A 17-year-old high schooler who has given more PPE out to folks in need, hospitals, nursing homes, schools, than the government. A young 17-year-old high schooler. Kudos to him. I don't remember his name. But I just want to acknowledge that there are people, ordinary people, doing extraordinary things during this time. Kudos to them. If you have someone in your community or someone that you know of that is doing incredible things like that, share it in the thread so we can all read it and be able to share some good news. So that's what I wanted to do. Take a few moments and talk about some of the things that, we're doing right. And hi, Tracy. Both Tracys. How are you today? Glad you're here. So as we get started, please hit your share button. This is week 19, and for those of you who are first timers here, this is Real Talk with Love. I'm Coach Barbara Perkins, and I've been a veteran coach now 20 years. I'm a life coach and an executive coach, an author, a business owner, and a child of God. I am happy to say a faith walker. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about you tonight. I want to talk about you and your purpose and what you have set in front of you for your life. Affirming your life's purpose is our topic this evening. So would you do me a favor? Hit the share button so we can have a few other folks come in with us. And I also want to say sometimes, when we're doing the live, I see when people come in and I can acknowledge you. I can't always do it because I don't see the names fast enough. But just know I go back through the thread and I try to respond to you. Hi, Renee, the birthday girl. I know it was last week, but happy birthday. And Renee says, one of my mentees who has had her share of struggles was able to be approved for her new home. Yay! Celebrate that. Yes, a young single mom moving into her own home in the midst of all of this. Great. Thanks for sharing that. Good news. That's what we're trying to share today. So anyway, here we are now in our 19th week, and today our topic is affirming your life's purpose. Our purpose is the why in our lives. Have you ever asked yourself, why am I here? What is my being here? What does it mean? How do I show up? Right? What is my purpose? The purpose is your why. Why does my life matter? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? When we have purpose, it moves us forward. Every day you wake up, and you're in touch with the reason why you're here. See, when we know why we're here, we move forward. And all of our activity begins to follow the why you're here. And, have you ever had those times in your lives? I know I have in my life when I felt like I was just wandering. I was doing things, but I was wandering, not quite sure where the end was and where I was headed. Well, that happens when we're not in touch and committed to a clear purpose. So that's what we're asking. Because, we didn't just show up here. We came here, everyone, I believe, with an assignment, something to do, something that matters. And you get to be the one to do that important thing. So what is that? If I asked you to finish the sentence and say, because I'm here, because of my existence, blank will happen or will change. What is the blank? What is the blank that will be filled in because you're here? Right, Renee? Purpose is the driver. It is the why. John F. Kennedy said, efforts and courage is not enough without purpose and direction. Efforts and courage, those are good things. We know that. But they're not enough if there's no purpose and no direction. And it's not so bad if you don't know what your purpose is. That's not so bad. The good news is when you become aware that it's important for you to be able to speak what your purpose is, to affirm it. Sometimes we spend a lot of time looking for what we consider happiness, right? Sometimes we think, let's find our happiness. Where's my happiness? Let me look for that. Well, the purpose of life is not to run around moving from one place to another looking for happiness. Happiness actually shows up when you are in your purpose. Happiness shows up when you have a reason to navigate around the life barriers and struggles and all the things that happens on a day-to-day basis. When you have a reason why you're navigating around those things and through those things, your happiness shows up when you're on purpose. Is that helpful? Because you don't have to be clear from the moment you get here. I mean, it takes a while to get keyed in and locked into what your purpose is. Purpose is when we are in service. Hi, Vanette. When we are in service to others, when we are others-centered, right? When it matters to you that you are making a difference in some positive way, that is getting close to a why I exist. And that is what purpose looks like. Making a difference, serving with honor. It shows that you've been here. It shows that you've lived here. That's where purpose is. Happiness comes when we begin to live our purpose. Happiness is not this thing outside of purpose. So there's a blueprint for our lives. Every life has a blueprint. But your blueprint can't be written without your purpose, right? You need that in order for this blueprint for your life. Purpose guides you. It shapes you. It shapes how you speak. It shapes how you move in the world. Purpose shapes the way you respond. Purpose helps you respond versus react. When you are on purpose, when you are in touch with your purpose, you are consciously aware of every movement, how you show up in the world, what you bring when you come to the table. You know, a lot of times people ask to be at the table, or they complain that they're not invited to the table. But when you show up, purpose helps you define how you position yourself. It guides you. Purpose allows you to examine what you tolerate. Purpose causes you to think clearly about how you associate. How you associate, who you associate with. Purpose keeps you on track. When you are in your purpose, it helps you with what you accept. And equally, it helps you with what you don't accept, what you don't associate with, right? How you don't show up. It helps you, but I like to concentrate on the positive side of it. Hey, Sharon and Tracy and Brandy. But yeah, purpose keeps you showing up your best self. That's what purpose does. Who you hang around with. Finding your purpose is not something you want to put off. As I said, you don't have to know it from the minute you get here. But once you know, once you begin to ask yourself that question, why am I here? What have I come to do? Once you begin to consciously ask yourself that question, then it's time for you to key into what your purpose is. Because once you know that, you can't unknow it. Once you begin to ask those questions, they start to emerge, and you're going to constantly ask yourself those questions. There is one essential desire that we all have as human beings, and that is the desire to survive. Every human being has a desire to get to the next day. Certainly there are times when in our lives or in lives of people who are hurt or in despair, there are times when people have other thoughts. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the innate desire that the human experience moves us towards. It's survival. We want to survive. But then the question is, why? Why do you want to survive? What do you want to do? So it takes you right back to that question. What is my purpose? So it's not something you can put off. Certainly you can't put it off after today that we've talked about it, right? After today, you want to know what that is. Hi, Akua. Thanks for joining. You want to know what your purpose is, especially after today, now that we're talking about it. And you may have had this question before. And you may have decided that I'm not quite ready just yet to answer it. Right? But today, you want to answer it. So as a coach, I created this session called a productivity session. And what it is, it helps you to align your productivity with your purpose. Because it's not enough to just say, I know my purpose, and then you're not moving towards that purpose. To the point that you're making, Renee, about your mission statement. Purpose causes us to commit to having a guide or a map. The purpose is the why in our lives. The vision are the points along the way as we move through life. The vision is where we're going. So you got the purpose, which is the why in our lives. The vision is where we're going. That's all the points along the way, all the things we're navigating. And the mission, as you're asking in the thread, Renee, the mission is the how. Now, how am I going to get there? And all three of those things are in alignment, but they're different. Your purpose, your vision, and your mission, they're in alignment, but they're different. They each ask a different question. Sharon, good question. Do you start over after retirement? Perhaps there sometimes you don't really get to fully experience stepping into your purpose until retirement. To fully step into it, when you have a lot more time and focus that you can give to it. And then there are people who really step wholly into their purpose after retirement because maybe they didn't spend the time thinking about it. Maybe they were raising their families, preoccupied. There's no judgment in it. It's where we are. Where do you find yourself today? In this very day, can you fill in that blank? I am committed to a purpose. I know what my purpose is. And this is how I'm going to move forward. I'm going to draw that map. And I'm going to pay attention to how I set the course up for myself. And I'm going to put markers along the way to help me track my progress, my productivity. And then my mission is going to tell me how to do it. So if you don't have your purpose laid out clearly, that's fine, because there's a way to get there. Hi, Alma. If you don't know what the purpose is, it's perfectly okay. But after today, it's not, because now you're asking the question out loud. And your subconscious mind is not going to let you rest. You're going to keep asking, okay, so why am I here? Really? What have I come to do? Why would my life make a difference? What can I offer? What is my offering? Hi, Kimberly. What is my offering to this life? Some people will say, what's the rent I pay for being here? Right? What do I deposit? How do I make it different? There's a way to find your purpose, and there's a way to reconnect to it if you lost it. I'm going to offer 3 things. And certainly these are just my suggestions, because you may get there another way. As long as you get there, we're all happy. But the first thing that I would offer is that you got to get still. You got to get still when you're trying to really find what is it that you've come here to do. Get still. Find the quiet space. Turn all the external noises down. Be comfortable with being with yourself. Be comfortable with inviting into your quiet your higher power. However you refer to that, I refer to my higher power as God. And when I need an answer that's as important as this answer, I get quiet and I get still in meditation and in prayer, and I just wait. There's no rush. This is really important. You sit until the answer comes, and you ask for it specifically. I need to know what my purpose is. And you don't try to force it. You don't look around and see what other people are doing and make that your purpose. Right? I'm seeing somebody else, like the young man, 17 years old, we talked about earlier today, who is committed his time to finding PPE for people who need it. What a great thing that he's doing. But that might not be your charge. That might not be your purpose. There might be something else for you to do. What is that? It may be being someone in your family, being the person in the family who does something significant for the family, who turns, something that the family is going through, turn it into something positive. Reconnecting folks. It may be that you're the person who stands in the gap for some children on the block who may need it. I don't know what it is. And if you don't know what it is, get still. Draw down from your higher power and ask for what you want and for what you need. Then sit. What you commit to, what you believe in, is what will happen. It will show up. Your answers would come. I assure you that. Hi, Arla. Thank you for joining. So again, here we are. This is our 19th week. We've had a lot we've talked about over the 19 weeks. Last week we talked about restoration, and someone asked me some questions about that, but I'm gonna answer those questions offline because we don't have enough time today. But I will tell you that this question today that I'm posing to you, if you do not know what your purpose is for this life, this is a good time to find out. This is a good time to check in with yourself. This is a great time to give the gift of you back to you. Knowing who you are, why you got here, what is the reason for your existence, gives you this wonderful opportunity to live your best life on purpose, with an intention, committed to sharing your joy so that someone else will have joy. I certainly hope you enjoyed this time that we've had, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday. And for those of you who are willing, you can still put something in the thread positive. You can talk about your purpose if you wish in the thread, and I look forward to reading it. Thank you and have a good night. Bye-bye now. And I'm going to let Brannis play us out. Remember last week I asked you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we'll put that in the thread. Would you please go? It's Barbara A. Perkins. And I am looking for subscribers for that channel. We're going to switch soon from Facebook to YouTube. We'll stream on Facebook, but we're going to switch over to YouTube. So I'd love to have you subscribe. Thank you. Okay? Good night. Take care. I'll let Brandis play us out a little bit. Thank you again. Good night, everybody. Back to you, Sharon. Thanks, everybody.